time on the Adventures of Gaia. Circus life continues as best it can with Aristodemos and Royd still poisoned by the nanotech. Our group was called on to find the last components needed for a cure, and it turns out Polycorpus was coming with us. So we transported to the Athara cluster, where he left us to fetch Pine, while we waited at a coffee shop for the contact with the hacking equipment. We were quite careful, as Athara Prime is rumored to be a syndicate training house. While there, I suggested to Magnus that he use his new telepathy skill to enter my mind with the group. I'm hoping they can find out what kind of person I was in my past. When they entered, they discovered my mental image talking to a man with no skin, who was trying to convince me to make peace with the outlaws, Jack and Lily. However, when he saw the party, he also said that I shouldn't trust Magnus. Oh dear.
And whatever you do, don't trust him. And points directly at you, Magnus. Suddenly Aurora turns, and you see the robots all start to move and come flying at your group. You may all roll surprise.
Oh.
Okay.
73 out of 75, so I do make it.
I don't make it.
97, critical failure.
Oh, well, Magnus might be a little surprised. Both Magnus and Dose are completely shocked and taken
Dose
aback.
is distracted by the little robot he's got, just kind of like
Okay, it's still just kind of hanging there. There are 10 little robots 8 come flying at you directly from the Aurora image in this, let's call it a sinewy muscle person, that straight at you, and 2 come flying from the crystals. Those of you who made your surprise may roll initiative.
141.
Okay.
122.
The robots come at you quite quickly. The ones from the side are much, much closer. They come flying up towards you. These are
Aurora's robots, right? Like the normal Aurora that she conjures and whatnot, that she summons?
Yes, they look very much like the Gaia constructs that she summons, rather than the robot that Dose is holding looks like it's piecemealed together of constructs and maybe other parts, but these ones are molded plastic. They're various colors. There's 2 or 3 white ones that have pink lines, or some black ones, but they all have that Gaia construct feel to them. They're flying quite quickly towards all of you.
Okay, so I'm going to summon my Psychic Blade.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to absolutely summon my Psychic Blade.
Okay. You pull back as the robots suddenly start coming at the party. You're not quite surprised, as you generally are expecting an attack, and you pull back and you summon your long.
I expect people to try and kill me. It's just, I also grab my unsheath my knife.
Okay.
And, I'm gonna run and try and attack the one next to the top heart crystal there. It's murder time. Yeah, critical.
Okay, you fly at the...
Oh, I should also mention I'm choosing physical and medium weapon for my Psychic Blade.
Okay, you fly at the first construct. It's a white, kind of molded, almost dragonfly-looking thing. It has a yellow beam coming out of it. It starts coming towards you. You come flying through. It seems to hesitate for the briefest of moment, and you slice through it with your triple-bladed energy claws. The pieces just fall to the ground. Sadly, the other ones are probably not close enough to you right now to attack this round.
Can I take my dagger and just throw it at one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Did you want to throw it at this one close to you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Please roll.
Critical as well.
It's flying towards you. This one is quite a bit more aggressive. It's a black one. You throw it.
So that's gonna be...
However, this one seems to move much quickly and dodges out of the way of the blade being thrown towards it.
My dagger.
Damn! Your dagger.
So much for your dagger being lost in Aurora's brain.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, oh wait, that's not real.
Rusha, you made it as well, correct?
I guess bringing out the bow and arrow, but not knocking the singularity arrow yet, and running towards the Aurora that we see.
Okay, Aurora's back. You just catch glimpses of her green hair sort of between them as she seems to be just standing there inanimate. Okay, so you start heading this way. You pass Dos and Magnus, who just seem dumbfounded by the events.
Aurora.
You don't hear a response right now. You do see that the crystals kind of shimmer quite a bit and glow, and then go back down to being quite dull.
Okay.
You may attack.
All right. This is going to be a glowing arrow.
Okay.
I don't want to singularity Aurora's brain.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
While Krellin's just throwing knives like.
Wow, I
I
should be
can
careful.
play your mind and throw your knives.
All this.
That's a 70 out of 100.
You knock an arrow, you call out to Aurora, you let it loose. There's a smaller red plasticized bot that seems to be a bunch of spheres that are connected together, and your arrow actually pierces right through. It straightens out, and your arrow goes right through, and the lights go poof, 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 and it falls to the ground.
Alrighty then. Then a second attack.
These, if you're attacking this one that was right beside it, it's
Yeah.
so close you don't need to waste an attack to reacquire. It's right there.
A 49 out of 104, so that's another hit.
Okay. You see the bot goes forward as if it's going to attack and then pulls back. You see the crystals that are all around you again shimmer a bit. Some of these constructs don't seem as quick to attack for some reason. There seems to be some kind of what if you were looking at them conjured in the real world, you would wonder as if there was a communication issue between their summoner and themselves. Okay, you shoot through. You puncture through the front with the two little round eyeballs that look like eyes, and it also falls to the ground.
All right. And then instead of taking any more shots, I'll just say, call off your constructs. We are here to help you. You asked us here.
Okay, you see the robots, the constructs that were bearing towards the party, the three at kind of the front of the row pull off. The other four are just holding steady in front of her, and they seem to slowly start to fall down a bit. Next round, you may roll initiative. The rest seem to be holding true and are almost kind of starting to land as if a UAV was coming down a bit. You see Aurora just standing there behind them. You see the pink magic coming out of her, but it looks as if she's limp and uncertain.
See, now I feel bad because if I shoot things, I'm going to feel bad about it. So
Which will still head toward the complacent Aurora.
I'm just going to hold and wait.
I get 333 for initiative.
Okay.
I'm going full attempt. I cast with a 37. I get a critical on flight, and I want to fly over I want to fly over the robots and land beside Aurora.
Okay. You summon up some black energy, and the lightning sort of comes out of the bottom of you and whisks you up. Aurora looks forward. The constructs seem to hold steady for a moment. They just kind of hover back and forth as they waver and seem to be waiting. You fly over top of the group, and you head down towards Aurora. You see that strange, dark, sinewed creature look up at you. These green eyes focus on you. It's dripping fluids. It's like somewhat bloody, but one thing you do notice, Magnus, as you get closer to it, you see the image of the sinew creature kind of phase in and out for a second, and it turns to a white light, or a whitish pinkish light, and then back to the sinewy creature. It blinks sort of on and off.
Oh, okay. I finally say, Aurora, please, we're here to help.
You're calling out to her. Ruja, you were headed towards Aurora as well, correct?
Yes, just from the ground, not in the air.
Suddenly you see Aurora's eyes focus. The bots all slowly go down. Magnus, you're coming down, and that shifty kind of being starts to flicker, and the eyes narrow and look at you, and it pops away. You see Aurora come to and look at you all, and you're in the coffee shop.
Whoa.
Krellin checks through his knife really quick to make sure.
Yeah, it's there. You go. Oh, I did not leave it in her head. Oh, thank goodness. Aurora looks at you.
Well, did you see him?
We saw something. It was not the Witch King. But
Something else bad?
somebody whom you may have known went by the name of Shifter.
Oh.
Or at least a memory of you seemed to know him.
Oh.
It was hard to tell with the muscle and the blood.
Muscle and blood?
Yeah, he looked like a less than reputable character.
He was gross. He was gross. That's what they're saying. He was really gross.
Yeah, that doesn't have description.
There were robots. Dose actually checks under their arm. Like, do they still have like the robot?
+1. No, it was the moment you almost felt it was still there, and you look, and it's not. It was very, very real feeling.
Yeah, there was a robot, and now there's not. But yeah, the guy, he didn't have skin, I think.
Well,
I can reach out in my contacts to see if anybody knows of this Shifter fellow.
Is that what always happens when somebody removes their Gaia skin?
The entire skin comes off?
Okay, everyone starts looking at their arms.
I feel like no, that would be very unnerving.
I'm sorry, Aurora. I don't know what we found out.
Aurora's watching them talking back and forth like this.
what?
You were talking about Jack and Lily.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And Magnus might have something specific to tell you about.
Me? What do you mean?
Do you know who Jack and Lily are? Was that what you mean? What?
But of course,
Well-
makes his memory. Yes, I've read about it, of course. Lily and Jack are some of the legendary characters of Gaia who fought in the first Guardian War. They were the leaders of the side called the Outlaws, if I recall correctly.
The Outlaws? Well, it seems, Aurora, you were on the other side. You were having a fight with them.
You didn't think they were very good people.
And Shifter told you not to trust Magnus.
What? Who? The person with the yucky one?
Aurora looks at Dose.
Yeah, that one. The gross. That one.
Well, why wouldn't I trust Magnus?
Well, I mean, why would you trust this Shifter fellow in saying not to trust Magnus?
That's a good point.
They did seem quite vile.
They did not seem vile. They only had an appearance of muscle. They were engaged in conversation and trying to... You seemed friendly with them, Aurora.
Oh.
Your robots seem to want to protect you from this.
What? Robots, that's what they do, right?
They were protecting you from us.
Oh.
Or perhaps from us trying to delve any deeper into this memory.
Oh.
Is your brain feeling okay? We did kill some of them, and I don't really know what that does in a noggin.
You killed my brain parts? What?
Well, they were trying to kill us, and I feel like there was much dire circumstances in that regard.
Well, maybe you could have held off a little on killing things in there. I mean, I'm just saying.
I also may have thrown my knife, and it's
helps.
just somewhere in there now.
I didn't shoot like a single thing the whole time.
Well, thank you, Dose.
And I had 2 guns, and I didn't shoot a single one.
thank you. Krellin, you're not supposed to be gross. Oh.
It was just your imagination. It was just your mind. I'm sure we didn't do any harm.
Oh, good.
He still gives Krellin a dirty look anyway.
Marginally worried.
I guess it didn't really help. Maybe, I don't know.
I am no scion, but I believe the constructs were well, for lack of a better word, a construct of your mental defenses, of your psychology trying to stop us from delving deeper into the memory.
What's there to hide?
Maybe it's because my memory's broken.
Yeah, I mean, mine's kind of broken too. I don't really remember a whole lot.
I still do not remember much from before we woke up in Eager.
Okay, everyone can roll something sensory. Danger sense.
Critical success with a 3.
That's going to be a 90, so that is not a pass. That is fair.
Okay.
I got a regular success.
Then my danger sense is 8.
Oof.
I fail with an 88.
We found Magnus's weakness.
Sensing danger. No.
Dose,
yeah.
you're talking to Aurora and you're looking, and then suddenly you realize Winnie's standing with some coffee refills sort of behind you looking.
Hey, Winnie, hey.
I'm just
Hey.
Coffee.
Coffee. Were you hearing?
What are you guys doing?
A gay party bonding.
Oh.
It was-
Meditation, yoga.
We're really,
A game of yoga, meditation.
Game of yoga bonding.
Both of you do not need to talk anymore.
Krellin emphatically agrees with that. Yes, that was horribly awkward. Please never try and cover for anything again.
Mr. Krellin, not covering.
Okay, when he goes, whatever. I just serve coffee. Maybe you could not do that anymore while you're in the shop.
Okay. That's
Okay.
fair.
Maybe just don't do it again ever. Okay, she turns.
What?
Okay, this is awesome. We are supposed to. I don't think we learned anything.
We learned a little bit, but
Yeah,
we just
like you
don't know
knew
what it
Jack and
means.
Lizzie.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. This gotta be okay.
Things are starting to piece together somewhat from all of our various memories we've acquired over the past few months.
The party is a little quiet as you're all sitting together. And Dos, you're the one looking out the door. There's a double doors that they keep open when the coffee shop is open, and you can see clearly the door to the house that you're meant to be keeping an eye on. And you see the door open. Actually, Krellin, you notice as well. And out comes, it's actually the flash of red that attracts you, Krellin. It's the overall movement. You were looking that way, Dos. You see Krellin, a familiar form, a red hooded individual with a veil over her face. She's come out of that house you're watching. You see another being come out. She's quite tall, probably about 6'8", very, very lithe. Long hands. She has 3 fingers and one thumb, and a visor across her face. It's completely covering the eyes, goes in behind her hair that's pulled back, and it's fully reflective. They are saying something. They seem to roll CE, both of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
Also no, but less than my other dice.
Okay, you see an odd motion kind of between them, and Then the figure in the red hood turns and goes around and gets on a speeder a speeder bike that's parked beside in that parking lot as the visored individual starts walking across the street.
Well, it looks like our appointment has arrived.
Oh. Okay, don't talk about anything else.
Fine.
No more brain stuff. Gotcha. And then I wink at Magnus again.
Okay, as you say that, Magnus, you sense this individual. You feel both the pheromones of that red-hooded woman that you felt earlier, and also the sense of that type of travel that you felt. It didn't just happen. She went away on a speeder, but you feel that as part of her essence. On this new person coming forward, there is definitely also some shifts that have gone on of the same quality. You feel those same molecules.
So both these women came out of the Syndicate training house.
Seemingly so, yes.
Okie dokie.
If the training house, if Winnie has informed you correctly, and if the rumors about the Syndicate being here, then yes.
Okay.
Okay. The tall woman walks across. You have just a few moments to speak before she comes in.
I do believe this is our contact.
Guys, she's here.
Krellin, you marvel at the subtlety of your group.
Hey guys, don't look now.
Magnus stands and turns and waits for her approach.
Okay, Aurora stands when you stand. I guess we're standing. Okay.
We're just not going to stand yet.
Okay.
Someone stays seated and kicks a chair out.
Okay, she comes across the way. She moves with exceptional a softness and grace. Her body not undulates in like sexy way, but just the way it seems as almost if her joints could go the other direction backwards. She comes across, she looks.
Krellin finds that very appealing.
What doesn't, Mr. Krellin?
Yeah, that's a good question. What doesn't? What doesn't?
That's a different adventure.
Krellin.
Okay. She comes in, she cocks her head. I assume you are all from the circus.
It is so.
Yes, right.
We assume you are the one who is delivering the technology we need.
Okay, she puts a hand to her heart. She goes, "It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Pememe. May I sit?"
Absolutely.
Of course.
I motion to the chair that I kicked out.
Of course.
Okay, she sits down. She looks slightly over. She actually doesn't seem to be looking, but more similar to how Magnus seems to sense stuff. She seems to be like catching things. She looks over when he comes in. She goes, "Oh, hey, coffee?" "No, darling, thank you."
All right, Magnus sits after she sits.
I push in her chair.
Okay. Hospitable group you all are.
Well, we are interested in our technology.
I do have it. She pulls a bag, seemingly a very small one, seemingly out of nowhere. Again, Krellin, impressive. She hands it, puts it on the table. This is the gear you will be needing. As soon as your traveling companion returns with the pine, you should be able to bring Aristodemos back to his normal self.
Do you know what happened? Do you know why Aristodemos was attacked?
Okay, she leans back. I learned long ago not to voice suspicions. I do not have hard knowledge on it.
But your suspicions must come from somewhere.
My job is to keep my ear to the ground. She seems to almost look at you, Krellin. All you can see is all your reflections, of course, in this mirrored visor. Rule 7.8. Never guess. Do not speak until you know.
I see you're very learned, my dear. Formidable information gatherer, to say the least.
And since
Now.
I'm not... She crosses her big, long leg. Since I'm not one to give to rumors until I see evidence, what I have heard is correct then. You seem to be a free agent now.
Yes, indeed. My previous employer does not want to continue my employ.
And you know
And
the
thus-
circus takes anyone who
And
is willing
thus
to
I'm
put on an
not
act.
Of course. She smiles. Seems like a genuine smile for those of you who are tuned to reading beings.
Madam Bememe, I could not help but notice you were with the red-hooded stranger that we met earlier. She has been to the circus a couple of times. Do you, I do not mean to pry, but do you know her well?
Roll 9.86. She smiles.
I'm afraid I don't quite remember that one.
Not yet. Perhaps you will.
Krellin takes note
Just
of
a
that.
joke. She laughs. I'm joking. Magnus, you were not with us. I do know her well. Yes. Why do you ask?
Merely because we are concerned about Aristodemos and, of course, completing our mission. I hope that this equipment will serve us for the purpose.
Of course it will. And how would knowing who she is help?
Perhaps not at all, madam. We merely wish to make sure that Aristodemos and, of course, Mr. Royd is brought back to health as quickly as possible.
Of
Now-
course.
Aristodemos is, as always, fortunate to have a strong family around him.
I do not know if it is fortune. Perhaps a fortune he has made.
She actually smiles. She goes, the best fortune is the one that we all make, is it not?
I would tend to agree.
Yep, Josh.
GM, can I roll my touch sense to kind of get more of a feel from this individual?
Yep.
Okay, I rolled a 2. That is a critical. Do I get more of a sense of exotic particles coming from her the way I felt?
There are the same type of exotic particles in that type of travel. Nowhere near, however, to the exoticness of the traveling, if that makes sense. The other being the red-hooded stranger had what you felt like was pieces of Gaia from everywhere, many lands, if that can be a thing. Beimei seems to have that same type of travel signature, however, not nearly as much, which you actually sense is much more core feeling to her, more speeders and that type of thing, as if someone
Pollution.
who's been exactly
Essentially.
yeah, someone who's been in the core more recently, and particularly Kev would be something, and the pollution of another place you don't recognize.
And can I get any sense off of her particles, maybe what exactly they train there? I'll know it involves sweat.
Yeah, there's definitely the set. There was working out around her, not necessarily her own. There's also the particles of being close to a forge, a weapons forge of some sort. You also recognize the same baking that is in the coffee shop.
Right. Yeah. Winnie did mention that somebody weirdly in the evil syndicate training house also cooks muffins and brings them over here.
Sometimes that's how life
Which
goes.
is why this is clearly a safe house.
Okay. Magnus keeps his perceptions to himself, but he finds this interesting.
Beimei keeps cocking her head off and on, and she returns her attention to Krellin. She says, I did hear of your departure and the rumors of why you've left.
Rumors are a nasty thing, my dear. I thought we were just discussing that.
Well, I have the source of the information right in front of me, and those of us who deal in information do like to check our facts.
She seems to be ignoring everyone else at your table.
There was a variety of reasons I left.
Because I would say if the rumors of why you left are true. And I suspect they are, given your residence at the circus. Well, I could see us getting along in the future.
She smiles. Again, genuine, not necessarily, not like evil sneaky, but also not warm either.
I look back and I'm like, well, I'm always more than happy to make new friends. And it does
Me
seem...
too.
Yes. Dose as well. And it does seem like you are a friend of the circus, of which, as you know, I am presently on the working with. So the rumors may indeed be true.
Okay, she leans in. She said, you suddenly feel a tingle against your head in your mind as she also says something about, it's not so much of an invasion, it's more the pressing of a thought against you. You can roll MR if you'd like to resist.
No.
Okay. Out loud, she says something about, it's nice that you have found a place to stay. In her mind, she says, I am able to help you with your lost love if you are still looking.
I think back, I am indeed still looking, and I nod and smile to her as well.
She bows her head. Well,
I do also think, in looking for this person, I do not want to endanger my comrades here.
okay, the message comes back to you, and it echoes out to the same thing she thinks. She says, then it seems that our business is done for today, and you all, well, the rumors are exactly as I suspected. Enjoy the coffee and the tech. And if I'm not mistaken, she cocks her head slightly, your companion is back. Suddenly see some red sparkles coming through the doorway ahead, and you, oh, well, yes, I did have this one. Did you see this, my show that was once on the Nautilus run? Okay, in comes Polycorpus. He's got 3 females, locals, you can tell because they're dressed similar, but they look exactly the same. They have yellow hair and purple skin. They all have some wispy little wings kind of coming out of the back. Oh, they're following him around, clearly starstruck. If there were stars in their, if there's not stars in their eyes, there's definitely a bit of a sparkle about them. Bei Mei Mei turns to you all. And that is my signal to take your leave. Good luck.
Magnus stands.
Okay.
Those ways.
Okay.
Krellin pulls out her chair.
She gets up with this grace of movement of both Ruja and Krellin both notice of a fighter or a dancer or something like that. She sideswipes, she goes backwards up against between 2 tables, and Polycorpus comes in talking about himself, and she slips out the door, and he doesn't even turn to look at her. It's as if she was a shadow suddenly. Oh, great!
Do the same when Polycorpus arrives.
I whisper to Magnus. Mr. Magnus, are all 3 of those individuals real?
I imagine those are the chi-chis he was talking about.
Well, you just ate coffee or drank coffee that would have come from them. So.
Oh, goodness.
Chi-chis or not, they are, yes, real geysers.
Okay. Oh, we can't wait to come. Well, you should come to my show when it... Oh, you're still here. Fabulous. Well, ladies, it's been a pleasure getting to know you all. He kisses all their hands. Oh, it was so good to meet you too, Polycorpus. Yes, of course it was. Group. I've contacted Tithe. Are you ready to go? Did you meet the person? Have they been here?
Yes, they have.
He kind of lowers his voice to talk to you. The women are still
Stage
standing there.
whisper.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I missed her then. You've been waiting for some time. Well, of course you would wait for me. Shall we go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Good.
If no one else grabs the hacker equipment, Magnus wraps it up and holds it on his arm.
Kate, the girls protest his leaving, but you get away quickly and you walk down the street towards the same spot you came in. Polycarpus says, well, we have everything. He's actually got a little bag tied to his side. You see some pine-ish type boughs sticking out. I'm sure you're all wondering how the battles with the Chi-Chis went. I was valiant and victorious. Just too bad no one was there to watch me do it.
Wouldn't you prefer to tell this story once we are back at the circus with a larger audience?
Ruja, you're brilliant. Brilliant! And it is our last evening performing, of course. The ruse worked great. He's walking, chest puffed out.
Let us see if we can raise our one-time ringmaster then, with the new equipment.
Of course we will. We're meeting that jacker hacker thing person when we get there. It will all be great. We'll be successful. Yana and I have built the show up more. You know, the ticket sales were bottoming a bit there for a while, but now with the news of our death and attack, of course, it was all staged. He seems to stand back and wait for you guys to clap or be impressed.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The attack by the evil coven. Well, it was all over the news, and ticket sales had plummeted with that new act that's across the way. So we took our moment. Ian insisted we come back to the circus, of course, with our dear friend in the lurch. We took the opportunity. Our show is sold out now for the next 3 decacycles. All worked out fabulous.
That is so. Now, I believe Tithe will want to get to his dinner eventually, so let us go.
Of course, Ruja. He smiles. Okay, you look like that, and even Aurora, who has a lot of tolerance for people. Did he just say he lied about them? Oh my goodness. You make it to the spot, and as soon as you are there, you feel that same tingle, the popping, and back in the circus, the familiar noise and smells of home are there. Well, here we are. I do encourage you to come to the tent and listen to the story of the Chi-Chis.
Yeah, we'll be sure to do that after we... Yep.
We have to deliver the stuff.
Mr. Polycorpus, may I make a quick suggestion? And I grab him and start walking with him to take him away from the group so he stops talking to them.
Okay.
Helen, take one for the team.
+1. I feel that should go on your AE. Seems to be increasing, Krillin.
Magnus says, Ruja, so where should we bring this? What should we do?
We have to meet with the hacker. We have to be with Aristodemos. Let us go to his cabin, his carriage. Caravan.
whatever word that is.
It's wagon.
Wagon. Yeah, there we go.
Very well. I will follow you.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, and as I'm walking with Polycorpus, I'm just like, okay, so instead of, I know those beasts you fought would must have been terribly ferocious, but I think you can upscale it a little bit. And then I start telling him about some nasty, horrifying, wretched creature that I had fought
Okay.
at some point in the past.
You have a fabulous imagination, Mr. Krillin. I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh, my sir, this is no imagination. I've defeated several of these creatures myself.
Okay, his nose wiggles a little more. I see. Well, okay then. Niana. Okay, he turns. She's pierced to the 10, and you, as you walk away, you hear him say, I think you might have been a bit correct about that. Krillin one is quite dangerous or something. As you walk up to Aristodemos' wagon, the door opens to meet you. You see the twins standing there.
Oh, good. You are back.
We brought the hacker equipment.
Fabulous.
Okay.
I believe we have all the components now.
We've set up a tent over there.
You see behind where everything is set up and the living and partying and such has been going on for some time, because you've been stuck in Kev for a while. You see there is a tent of sorts.
Aristodemos has been moved.
Very well. If you need my assistance, please. I can cast any spells you need.
If we need anyone's help, we will call.
You got it.
We also have Roy to take care of.
Oh, right.
So
Now, are you sure we need to fix one?
You all just kind of, there's a few groups of circus people just kind of hanging about, sort of waiting to see what's going to happen.
Ruja does want to see Aristodemos or be by his side.
Okay, you guys are very close to the yurt. You're asked to kind of remain outside while the work is being done, but the twins assure you that will be one of the very first people. The twins are, although mysterious to you and a bit odd, they're definitely someone you feel are trustworthy.
Okay.
After, there's quite a bit of noxious smells to you, Magnus, of spell casting. There's also quite a bit of technology, electricity going through the air. You do hear some magical chanting. It even starts to draw out some of the typical crowd that wouldn't come in. You see Polycorpus and Iana starting to come out. And after some time of waiting around, you see the door open. And the twins kind of motion to, particularly to you, Ruja, and the group. You see Aristodemos come out. He's standing. He's got a smile on his face. He looks, for those that have a high CE, he looks like he's tired, but well. My family.
Good morning.
Okay, he looks at you. There's definitely a soft sparkle to his eye, Ruja. He says,
And welcome back.
thank you. They cannot keep a good man down. He smiles. Everyone starts to clap. Okay, he puts his arm out, and Roy kind of comes around. It's important that everybody know Roy is not at fault. Okay, Royd's got his wizard hat, this faded star thing in his hand. He says, no matter what Aristodemos and I have between us, I was just trying to hire extra protection. I know there's probably rumors and that kind of thing, but it's just... Okay, Aristodemos puts his arm around him. He says, and I thank you. Okay. He smiles. He looks up. Suddenly Royd's smile broadens, and Polycorpus and Iana are walking forward. Say, Polycorpus, my friend, we're so happy you're doing better. And he reaches and hugs Royd.
First time for everything.
Okay, Aristodemos steps back. I want to thank you all for your concern. I'm fine. And this reminds us why our family bonds are so important. And perhaps we will just be a little more dazzling than we have been in the past. Now, family, you must give me a little more time to retreat. But I will come for dinner later. And you will tell me what you all have been doing lately and how much money you have all made. Until then, the show must go on. Okay, you see a small green being walking up to you. They have tentacles for legs, quite short. They're coming up. Which one of you is Krellin? They've got a little messenger thing on.
That would be myself.
Great. Sign here.
All right. And I give a fake signature.
Okay, great. Here's your package.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everyone. Use Gaia later. Okay. Goes
Magnus, can you tell if this is a bomb?
Get everyone in the party around you, Krellin.
just backs up.
22. That's a critical of the minus 200.
Okay. You put your hands around it. It doesn't feel like it. In fact, roll memory.
38. That's a regular success.
You absolutely feel the hint of the spell components and a certain greasiness that feels like Otakar's shop that you were last week at.
It's not a bomb, my friend, but I don't know if you're going to want to open it. It's from this Otakar character.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's see what's in here. And
Okay, you pop it open. You're still half expecting it to maybe jump out.
I'm still fully expecting it to.
Okay, you open it. Inside is a Gaia pad. There's a little yellow sticky note stuck to it. It says, "Saw this on the cameras. Thought you'd be interested. You owe me 2. Love, Otakar."
Oh, okay, well, let's see what this is.
Suddenly you see a kind of closed circuit TV image. You had seen a few of these screens, the same images showing all over Otakar's shop when you were there. And you recognize a cloaked individual, leather patchwork with a hat. It's that hunter that was there, the one Royd had hired. He's standing there looking around. The camera zooms in. And then you see suddenly a dark cloaked being show up. You recognize those dark cloaks of the Coven, even though it's from behind. You hear sound kind of cutting in and out as if someone's trying to get in, and then all you hear is a gravelly voice. "The trap is laid." Good. And the video feed cuts off.
Well, that's probably not good.